Welcome everyone to Microsoft 365 Virtual Marathon. Thank you for attending, and we hope you're having a great conference. It's now been over 13 hours of non-stop sessions, and we really hope you enjoy the rest of the conference as well. I'd like to introduce our next session speaker, Hansa Gamage. Hansa will be presenting a session titled A Payment Reminder Using Power Apps, Excel, and Azure Functions. Take it away, Hansa.
Yeah, thank you, Chirag. Okay, so in this session, let's talk about how simple the Power Apps are and also how we can easily integrate it with different services. Maybe you may be new to Power Apps, maybe you are an expert in Power Apps, but at the end of this session, let's try to learn something new. So the next the SharePoint conference that we have in next year, and these are our sponsors, and this is a little bit about myself. So I am Hansamali Gamage from Sri Lanka. I'm a Microsoft MVP in Azure, and also I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. So in my leisure time, I'm blogging and I'm speaking and traveling, all those stuff. And if you want to discuss or if you want to ask any questions or maybe to discuss some interesting techie stuff, you can reach me out from these the resources available in social media, maybe on Twitter, in my blog post, or maybe in my, you can check out my GitHub repos as well. Most of the repos are on Azure Functions and Microsoft 365 resources like MS Graph and all. Uh, so this is the there will be a raffle draw and you will be getting this type of exciting gifts. So if you are eligible, and yeah, okay, now let's move into the session. Okay, so we will not be like to be more interactive in this session throughout this session, but let's try not to be sleepy and try to learn something new on Power Apps. So Power Apps is like a collection of applications, or maybe you can say collection of services. You can create your Power Apps using the variety of connectors and data providers. And the specialities available in Power Apps is it allows you to develop applications rapidly, and even a non-technical guy can work with Power Apps, can create a Power Apps, and you can release your MVP or the first release into your users with these Power Apps. You don't have to like worry about the creating, reading, deleting, those type of CRUD operations. Even a non-technical guy can create a Power App and release it into their users, their business users. And also you can connect with your existing SharePoint hub and your Excel sheets, whatever the data store available, and Office 365 resources like your OneDrive, your Excel files, your planner, your calendar, your meetings. You can connect with those stuff as well in Power Apps. And also if you have a on-prem data server or maybe data available in Azure, you can connect with that too. And this is like it's like a hype to convert your manual processes to digital automated processes, and even a non-technical guy can create that. Means that's like wow, right? And also you can even a user can build their own applications without writing any single line of code. So those for the non-technical guys. So what about us? For us, for the developers, we can programmatically interact with these data. We can create custom connectors and we can integrate with the external data sources as well. And you can run these Power Apps in browser as well as in your mobile phones. and you can sign up for a, so if you want to start with Power Apps, if you don't, you have to like sign up for a 30 days trial account, or else you can go for the community plan, and it allows to use for a individual users. So that means if you don't want to spend something on Power Apps, you just want to have a look, you can go for the trial account, and also you can go for the community plan that allows for individual use. So if the Power Apps impress you, if it's going to put some energy and put some value into your business, you can continue with the whatever the pricing options that's suitable for you. Okay, so I'm not going to into detail into what are the benefits and what are the disadvantages and those stuff. So we'll directly move into a interesting case study. So in this case study, we are going to develop a Power App, and it's going to add some data into the Excel. So that Excel file is available in your OneDrive under your Office 365 account. So so that means it's a payment reminder application. So from your maybe that Power App can be run in the browser, and also it can run in a mobile device, in your mobile phone, or maybe in a tab. So you can enter whatever the expenses for a month, maybe for a year, then that will be inserted, that will be added into the Excel file. Then in the background, you can run a Azure function, and let's say every 28th of in the month you want to get a payment reminder. So what is the total amount of bills you want to pay for the entire month? So you can get a reminder. You can get a reminder email to your Gmail account by using this Azure Function app. So that's what the case study we are going to build today. So if you are not a developer, you can start with the Power App, and if you are interested in Azure Functions and the way that we can handle these kind of reminder kind of applications, so you are welcome to go through this case study. And I will be able to share you a GitHub repo for this Azure Function app. So after this session also, you can have a look. Okay, so the technologies we are going to discuss about this case study is Power Apps, and then I will be using Microsoft Graph API. So Microsoft Graph API, you can access the Microsoft related resources in your organization, and also if you have a personal account, you can access your data available in the OneDrive, maybe in the meetings, in your calendar, your tasks, everything with a simple node, this Microsoft Graph. So what you have to do is, if you haven't used that, you can go for the, so I will be showing that in the demo. You can just navigate into the Graph Explorer and you can try out the available methods in there. So you have like a playground to play with the data available in your organization or in your personal account with this Microsoft Graph. And the Azure function, I will be using Azure function. So I'm building that on Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition on the .NET Framework 3.1, the latest release. And I will be deploying it to Azure and consuming the data from the Excel file that's available inside our uh, Microsoft account. So I will be accessing the Excel file through the Microsoft Graph, and from the Azure function, I will be sending an email using the SendGrid API. Okay, so the demo. So yeah. So first of all, let's start with the Power App. So I will share my browser here. So I have already created the app, let's check whether this works, right? So I will go here. This is my app. I will say edit. Okay. So my Power App will be loaded like this. Let's wait for a minute. Okay. So I will run this one and I will enter, let's say, for my online shopping for the month of May. I hope all of you do this online shopping, right? And I will allocate like $800. That's pretty high amount, but let's save this. Okay, it's available here. And if I go into my Office 365 account and check my Excel files available in my OneDrive, this is the one. So you can see the online shopping entry has been added. Okay, now let's move into the Azure portal. So this is my Azure portal. So I have disabled this function, so I will enable it. And I will go to the monitor tab and we'll navigate to the logs. So I will show you a sample email I got. So this is the sample email I got from this Azure function. So this is I used a timer trigger template for the Azure function. That means I can give a timestamp to run this function. Maybe you can schedule this function to run on 28th of each month. For the testing purposes, I have asked the Azure function to run in each and every minute. Okay, so let's build the app. I think we have got the email. So I will check, save. So you have to pay this much for the electricity bill, this and this. So if you check the Excel file, we have to pay the electricity bill on May and not the water bill. So this one, and online shopping. So with the total amount. So if you go to the Azure function. So this is the log file. It has been created when the function is running. So I will disable this one because it runs each and every minute, so that's a bit of a headache. So I will disable this one and I will move into the development. Okay, the Power Apps. So let's see how you can easily create Power Apps. So you have to move, let's say, Power Apps. So you don't know anything about Power Apps. Now you are going to start with that. So let's click on this link. So you have to sign in with your credentials. Okay, then I want to create a Power App. I want to start from data. So it's you can say the data is like the heart of the application, right? So let's start with the data. So I want to use Excel Online. So let's click on that. And you have set of connections to connect your Excel files. So let's click on new connection your Excel file, if I see my Excel file, it's available in my OneDrive. So then you have to create a connection to your OneDrive. Okay, so as OneDrive, you can click create a connection to your OneDrive. It's there. Now you can see the available files and you can click on the Excel sheet you want, and it shows. If I move into the Excel sheet, it shows the tabs available in your Excel sheet. Sorry, a table, right? So I will click on connect. So your behind the scene, your application is getting created, right? Okay. So you can see your app has been created with the data available in the Excel sheet. So if you check this tree view in the left side, so you can see these three screens available. The first one is browse screen. So the developers, we tell it like the list view or maybe the grid. This is a list view. So in the list view, you can see each and every component, the search box, the label, those things. You can change this if you want, and you will be able to see the other two screens, detail screens and the edit screens. This is the detail screens and this is the edit screen. So let's try to run this one. So I will move into I will start from the browse screen and run. So you can search from here and you can do the basic CRUD operations, create, read, delete, and update operations. So you can create a new item here. Okay, let's say as a good person, I'm going to save some money for my future. Deposit some saving accounts. So I want to do that on maybe 30th. So you can remove this ID column if you want. You don't want to have put a ID, no. So, but for this one, I will put a random number. For the price, I say $500. Then this will be inserted into your Excel file. Oh, sorry. So this message, it says the requested resource is locked. That means when I click on save, this right icon, so it's going to save into the Excel file, but it's locked because I have opened this one. So I will close this and try again. It says the file is being locked. Yeah, maybe something wrong. Just let's forget about that one. Try to run it again and say save. Oh, it still says the Excel file is locked. Okay, just something wrong. Just forget about that one and we'll move into the next step. Okay, so this is the detail screen. This one you can edit if you want. So in my application, so if I go to here, so this is my application I created previously. In there, I have removed this some of the fields in here. So I will say edit. Okay. I think I have to go with this one, or else this will override because I'm connecting to the same Excel file. Okay, so if I go to the edit screen, in here I have removed the ID field. If you don't want, you can remove that. Okay, so this is the most simplest Power App you can ever create. So it's going to add some data into the Excel sheet. Okay, so here now I will move into the Azure function. So now we saw how to create the Power App, and that was inserted. It was inserting data into the Excel sheet. And now let's move into the Azure function. So maybe you guys are experts in Azure. So this is the Azure function I created. So I will go through the code. So so first of all, I have created a timer trigger. So you can create any type of trigger here, but I want to get a reminder in a specific day, in a specific date. So for that, I created a timer trigger. You can have HTTP trigger. You can have various type of templates here. You go to the Azure function and you can check the way different type of Azure function templates available. So this is the I got a timer trigger, and I'm passing this the Excel file name and the worksheet and the table name here. Okay. Then I'm going to check this method, the retrieve data one. So in here it's going to connect to this the file through Microsoft Graph. So now let's move into the Microsoft Graph. You have to say Microsoft Graph. So then you will get the Graph Explorer. So I will be navigating to the Graph Explorer. This is like a playground. You can play with your data. You just want to log into this with your credentials. So now if you click on run query, you will get your information. So this is the getting started examples you have. So if you haven't tried with the Graph Explorer, that's a cool. You can do some coolest stuff with this. So just to have a look on this. So if you want to have some Excel related stuff, so that's the one we are doing here. So you can check these methods available. So in here we are going to get the Excel sheet. So let's navigate to here, and I will copy this one. I will open a notepad plus plus. I will paste this one. So the drive. So now you got your information. So if you say drive, so what are the available drives in my Office 365 account? So you can see these things. Then it's root and children. Let's query the root. You get this data. You can see the URL to access that with your account name here. right? So this one, I will. This one, your account name. I will say I want to check what are the available items in here. So you can see these are the items available in my OneDrive. So the Excel file we are checking is this one, payments Excel file. So it's there. So now I want to get this file. I will check the children. I will copy the name here and run query. You get that. And to do these things, you have to have some permissions, right? So different set of permissions. To query only this part, that means your information, you don't want to have file read permissions. But to do this one, you want to have file read permissions, right? So you can do that one from here. So if you go into the files category, you can see the file read write, the permissions are available for your account. If you want to do something with let's say with emails, you want to have this mail read, mail write. If you want to send emails, you want to have this mail send permission. If you want to do something with your meetings, with the maybe tasks, you have to have this tasks read and task read write permission. Okay. Okay. So if you check the permissions here, it's files. This one, files read write. It's already given. Okay, now I have came into this point that I can access the Excel file. Now I want to move into its workbook and the worksheets, right? Before doing the coding and before going through any other thing, it's really easy. You can come to the Graph Explorer and you can set up your playground with the permissions and with your account details, and you can check the stuff from just passing the URLs. Right now I will say workbook. Sorry, workbook. So the query is still running. You got the workbook details and the URLs for that. And I want to deep dive, go into worksheets. You can see the worksheet properties, the name and the visibility and those things. Then I want to pass the worksheet name. So what is the worksheet name is? It's this one. The tab name, Excel tab name. I will say payments and run query. Okay, and I want to check the tables available in that sheet. Oh, you can see the tables, the table name as payments. So then I want to get this table. So this permission dialog box is like pretty annoying. So I will go here then. the payments. This is the payments table, right? So tables and the table name, and then I want to move into the rows. So you can see the rows available in that table, right? So now we are ready with our URL to read the Excel table we want. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into the Postman and try out with this method, the URL we got from the Graph Explorer. It says this access token has expired. So in the Graph Explorer, you logged into your Microsoft account, right? But this, so in here, if you check the Graph Explorer, you can see the access token for this, right? You want to provide this access token to the Postman. So in the authorization section, so you can go for the bearer token and paste this. And let's send this one and you can get the data. If not, you can go with the authorization and select 0020 and get new access token. You want to get a new access token without using the Graph Explorer one, right? Even in your application, you have to give this access token. If you check the settings in here, you have to give the access token, or else you can get the OWIN support and you can provide the OWIN authentication and retrieve the access token through the code without pasting it in here, right? Okay, so how we can generate this access token? So you can give a token name. So you want to get the authorization, you want to follow the authorization code as the grant type, and you have to provide a callback URL like this, whatever the callback URL, because in here in this application, after the authentication has happened, it's not going to call back to that application. So you can give any type of callback URL. And you have to provide this as the authorization URL. This we are following over to V2, and this is the endpoint, the authorize. And for the token URL, you have to provide the token endpoint. And then you have to provide the client ID and client secret to access this Excel data. So that we have to do with the Active Directory. You have to create a application in no Active Directory. So I will move into my Azure. Oh, I will check. I will go to the portal here. Oh, sorry. The wrong name. So I will add my password. Hope it works. Yeah. Yeah, this is, I don't have any subscriptions for this account. So, but I can access the Active Directory, right? So I have created the application from app registrations here. The app registrations, you can create a new application by providing the name, and you can select whether this application, the token we are getting can be accessed only for a single tenant, only for this organizational directory, or else you are going to provide it for any active directory multi-tenant, or else you are allowing personal accounts as well. You can go with the personal accounts. And the redirect URI, you have to put the redirect URI same as this one, the callback URL. Okay. So now, so I will check this one. So this is my application name. Then you will get a client ID. And this is the redirect URI. I have added this one. And then you have to provide in here, you have to provide a client secret, right? So the client secret, you can create a client secret here from certificates and secrets. So I have already created one secret. So you can create a new client secret and put that into here. Then you have to provide a scope. That means what is the permissions what is the permission that should allow for this token. So I want the file read all permission, and I'm going to request the token here. So then I will get a screen like this. So I'm going to log into this one. And provide my password. And you got the token. So I will copy this one, and I will say use token and send the request. You will be getting this data. So you have to pass this token from the settings file. Okay. So now we got to know about the Graph Explorer, how to play with this Graph Explorer and the data. So now we went through we went through these type of URLs and finally came into this point to get all the rows inside our Excel file, and you can get this URL into your coding environment, right? So I'm using Visual Studio to 2019 Community Edition on .NET Framework 3.1. So let's move into this method. So I'm passing the URL. So I'm passing the URL here and with the access token. So I'm getting the response. I have used the REST client. So you can go with the Graph SDK for .NET as well, but I'm going with the REST client, and I'm using this REST API calls. So then I have added some login to identify where this function app is going, whether this is working fine. And I'm getting these the values. So if I so it's bit of if you can see this one, it's a kind of a 2D array, right? The data you are getting is a 2D array. This is the first row, the second row. It's kind of a 2D array. To map that, I have used a helper class. So I'm getting the data. I'm deserializing the data. This is the helper class I used with the index and this values 2D array. And I'm looping through that and adding it to a list with the help of this class. Okay. Then I'm doing some filtration. I want to get the expenses for this current month from 1st to the 30th, from the first date of the month to the end date. Okay, now I am then returning these expenses, and then generating the email from here, right? So I'm going through these expenses and appending the expense description and adding the prices, the added amounts for the expenses, and generating the email body like this. And I'm using SendGrid account to send the email. So you can check this is how you are going to build the email message, and these are the configurations I'm retrieving to send the email. So this is the access token we talked about. So this is the email server and the port, and this is the my credentials. So I will show you how to create a SendGrid account. I will move into the portal again. So if you are confused on my Azure portals, actually this is this login is I'm using this login to create my application to access the Office 365 data, the Excel sheet that we connected with the Power App. So to host my Azure function and to create the SendGrid account, I don't have any credits in here. So then I'm moving to the other Azure account. Okay. I will select my subscriptions and I will create a SendGrid account. So you can go here, home, and create a resource and say SendGrid. Can create a SendGrid account here. Right, you have to provide a name and your password. You have to remember these stuff and your informations, and your SendGrid account will be created. So I will check the SendGrid account we have linked in here. So it's this one. So you can go to the the SendGrid account and can click on the manage. Then it will be redirected to your SendGrid. So in here you can see all of your username and your email address and your keys as well. Right. So the API keys under settings. So you can create API key. So I think I have gone with the free tier. So this will not charge anything for you. So so if you have Azure account, I guess you all have Azure account. You can try out these stuff. I think it's a sometime the environment and the time is a bit not usual for us. It's not we are hosting webinars every day. We are just having face-to-face discussions, conferences. So, but we can get something good out of this time. You have plenty of time to test and work on new things that's available. So you have participated in this webinar and you have got something, you have learned something out of from these. Then you can in your free time you can try out these stuff. So this is about the SendGrid account. So if I go to this one, yep. So this is the things, the email configurations we want, and then we can send the email with the try catch block for the safe side. Okay, so so this code is available in my GitHub. Or you will be getting the link when I share my PowerPoint slides. So this is available in here, right? So you can clone this. So these are some code snippets I just pasted here. So this function and this one to get the Excel data and to generate the email, everything is available here. So you can try out when you have time. Okay, so these are the technologies we covered here and the demo. So this is my GitHub repo. So if you have any questions, I think we can have time for the questions.
Thank you, Hansa, for that presentation. Lovely stepping into the various tech over there. I'm looking at the Q&A. I haven't got any questions come up yet. But yeah, for sure, I think if anybody wants to post a question, please do so.
And also, I want your feedback. So this one, sorry. Oh. So if you have a mobile device with you and you have a QR code reader, you can just scan this one and then you will get a screen to enter your feedback for me. Please provide that. Then that will be actually really helpful for me to build my speaking profile. And once you've done your feedback, you will get an email for your email account. And then just go there and confirm that you are the person who has given me this feedback. So thank you very much.